get situated. All right, I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I hope you can hear me okay. Get my earpiece in here, my producer. Let's turn the cords over here. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's okay. Get in there. You good? You comfortable? I want to make sure you're comfortable, okay? All right, he's good. All right, here's what your screen should look like. Here's what your screen should look like. It looks like we're about 2 hours and 24 minutes and 33 seconds. It's right after the Ultimate Warrior's promo where he says something in a growly voice. I don't know, probably something like, Hulk Hogan, like that. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to count to 3, or I'm going to count down from 3. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go, okay? But it's going to be a little slower than that, and it's going to be paced so that you can be ready for it, all right? It doesn't have to be like the exact time that I say go. Just, it's going to be ballparked right to that moment. So I'm not going to like point to too many things on the screen so that it has to be at that exact moment. It's just so that I can have something to talk about while I watch it along with you, or while you watch it along with me. That's what's really happening here, okay? So, for some reason, WWE Vault doesn't have a YouTube version of this matchup. This Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior for the WWF title in SummerSlam 1990. That's the last match of the show. They have Hogan and Earthquake up, so I guess you could watch that one with me instead, except I won't be doing commentary on that one. I'm just doing Warrior and Rude. So I'll be talking about Warrior and Rude while you're watching Hogan and Earthquake. All right, just to make it more complicated. I got a screen here. I got a screen there. I got an earpiece here. I got a producer over here. And we're ready to go, all right? So we're going to count you down. All right, here we go. SummerSlam 1990. All right, count down. Here, good old Misto. All right, count down. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. The first time I did that, the volume was blaring in my ears. I couldn't hear it. Now I can barely hear it, but that's okay because I'm here to talk about it. All right? You should be, if you're following me, you should just right now be seeing the blue cage, okay? That's the only visual point that I'm going to reference, all right? Now, is this the first? No, this is not the first use of the blue cage. I think that was during the, was it the Zeus Hogan Beefcake tag match thing? Was that it? I can't remember. I'm a little snottier than extra this morning because I've had some allergy problems or some type of cold or potentially COVID. I don't know what it is. I'm okay. I'm feeling better. But if my voice, if I can't do the voices, you know, like I like to do the voices during these things, if I can't do them, I apologize, all right? I'm going to do the best I can, all right? I know you're going to miss the voices. I already did Warrior. So, I'm okay. Bobby Heenan, he doesn't look happy. I can say that. And I love in these old shows, you can kind of look out in the audience and get a feel for what the style of the time was, you know. So like in 1990, you got a lot of neon, you know, you got a lot of bright hot pinks. You got a lot of like neon greens, you know, it's like a smorgasbord of neon, you know. And on this Netflix version that I'm watching, I can tell right away that they've replaced Rick Rude's theme song with some other generic stripper music. His original theme song is probably, I don't know why they can't use it. Is it a library track? I thought that would have been Jim Johnston. I thought that would have been fair game. And some of the people in the audience do not have chins. I'll tell you, they do have chins. They got gigantic chins. They have no necks, really. That's what I was noticing. You got some people they always show shots of the young ladies when Rick Rude comes out there and strips, you know. You got a shot of them. They act like they don't like it, but they do. They like it. They like to see his toned, muscled body with his 90 abs and his beautiful mustache. He doesn't have the mullet this year, though. He's just got a shorter haircut, which is better. He looks a lot better. Like when it's long and curly, it just doesn't look quite as good. That's Warrior's music is so good, by the way. And he comes down like he is so rough with that cage. If I was a tech and I had just set that bad boy up, it took them like 20 minutes to set it up. And they left it all in on these on this version on Netflix. Like there was promos and stuff. But Warrior is just blowing himself up, running around the ring. And he shook that cage so hard that if I was a tech, I'd be terrified that he just jacked it up. You know, like maybe it's going to fall down. This is why I could never be responsible for other human beings in this. I just don't have it in me, you know. I'm not built for that stuff. You know, other people can do that. Other people can be built for that stuff. Men, like the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude. Both of them no longer with us, by the way. Neither's Bobby Heenan. And the bell is rung. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard it. And they're trading blows on top. What a way to start a cage match. And this is a shorter one, too. I think it's like 10 minutes long, so we'll get through this. Love Rick Rude's tights. He's got like an airbrush on there. He's got like Warrior's tights are great too. He's got trunks on and they're like black, but he's got like these neon Warrior logos on it, and he's got his girl bike tassels on his arms. And they're tied so tight to make his muscles bulge. I'm surprised it doesn't cut off circulation and make his arms like all tingly. I feel like you're losing like real circulation in his arms to make his veins pop, and I feel like he'd get tingly after a while. Maybe that's why he died early. I don't know. Rest in peace. Nah, never mind. He does the warrior, the dance of the gods. They called it. I don't know if that's what they called it. But Bobby the Brain Heenan is out there. One of the greatest professional wrestling managers and color commentators of all time. And he's no longer with them. Rest in peace, Bobby. This one, I truly mean, rest in peace. Miss you every day. Great guy. Well, at least he came across as a good guy. I don't know if he actually was. But yeah, all three of the main players in this match no longer with us. So I think initially we're going to see a lot of banging into the cage, like a lot of smashing heads into the cage. Piper's on commentary. Oh, Warrior, he did a nice little flying body into the cage. That was pretty risky for Jim. That's his real name, by the way, Jim. Not very scary or Warrior-like. The Ultimate Jim. Hulk Hogan and all the little Jimmies. Yeah, he wouldn't do that. See, branding is everything, You gotta have a good gimmick. Otherwise, you're just gonna be Jim, the guy who paints his face and puts girl bike tassels on his arm. Yeah. And Rick Rude. Rick, the stripper. The male stripper gimmick. It's always been around. It always comes back around. Who's doing it right now? Who's doing like the closest thing to Rick Rude right now? Anybody? Was it Dolph Ziggler? I don't know. Since Vince has left the building, I think they got rid of that male stripper gimmick. Maybe nobody else is into it. I feel like Hunter would be into it. Oh, Rude's busted, but I remember watching this match as a kid, like eating breakfast, and one of my sister's friends was over, and we noticed that Rick Rude was bleeding there, and she knew the blood was real. I still thought the blood was fake at that point. I thought that there was like special effects or something. But she's like, no, they really bleed. That's real. I didn't find out that they really bled until like 1997. I always thought they had a gimmick where they like put some blood packet on their head, and then like tore it off at the right time, and then the Hollywood ketchup special effect blood would come down their face. But when I was watching Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 1997, WrestleMania 13, I noticed the blood kept squirting out of Steve's head, and I was like, okay, this is either real or some other effect. I don't know how they did this. And then my twin brother Jason asked on like a message board, and they said, no, they cut themselves open with a razor blade. And my world had been changed ever since. So you see Rick Rude bleeding there. If you see him bleeding, he sliced his head open with the razor. You can actually go back to an 80s news clip where they kind of expose wrestling, and a guy is doing an interview, and he talks about how they make the blade, and he talks about just swiping it across the head, and he actually does it while he's talking, and then blood just comes down his head. So they knew about blading way back when. Back when everybody still thought it was real. Nowadays, guys just blade on. Can you ever see Phil, CM Punk blade? He'll just stab himself in the head. There's like footage of him at All In back when he was in AEW. And he's just like stabbing himself in the head. And blood starts pouring out. But yeah, they'll do it in front of the audience. John Moxley's bad at it. I like guys who can discreetly do it, you know? There was an art to it back in the day. Not that I'm like one of those kids these days, wrestlers these days. You know, they don't know how to do it. But, no, everybody's fine. I go with the times. I like the new stuff. Warrior and Rude are doing some sort of interpretive dance where their arms they're out of it now, but their arms were raised and they were showing their sweaty bodies. They still got those hot halogen lights boiling the ring. The match has been going on for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I don't know how long it's been, and their bodies are glistening. They're glistening, and I bet this match is 10 minutes, and I bet Warrior's face is completely wet, and his paint is gone by the end, and his hair is stringy, because those lights are just so bright. And I'm pretty sure these are the same lights they have in SummerSlam 91 the next year. And then, if my brain is working correctly, it's at Survivor Series 91 that they switch to a different lighting system, because that Survivor Series is when things started getting less sweaty. And that is right when I started tuning in live as a fan. Is November 91. So, tells you how old I am. I'm even older than that. I'm an old soul, old man. This physical body is not going to last forever. But that's okay. I hope you're enjoying this. I am. Rude is all the way at the top. He's going to do one of those... well, he's not all the way. Oh my God, that was a long way. And Warrior caught him in the belly. The nice toned abs. He caught him with the fist. But man, that had to have been hell on his ankles. He jumped really far. He wasn't at the very top, but he was on like the one right below the top. And he took a dive. Ooh, Ricky. No wonder he's not with us anymore. Warrior's got a gigantic piece of paint hanging off of his nose. It almost looked like a booger. It's not, but it wasn't. And they did the old door closes on the head gimmick. Last year I was watching Saturday night's main event. And they got a different cage now, but they'll still try. One of the ways you can still win is to open the cage door and walk out. And it's the stupidest way to win a match of all time. And Jesse Ventura on commentary, he was not holding his true feelings back at all. He was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Gorilla. And, yeah, I agree, Jesse. I agree. Stupid. Yeah, we're having this brutal, bloody cage match. But hey, ref, unlock it for me. I'm getting out of here. See you later. It's not suspenseful. It's silly. Not my favorite way to win a match. You can win a championship match by walking through a door, walking down some steps, getting your feet on the ground, and you're a champion. Almost as bad as winning a title in a table match or something. Ladder matches, I understand. You know, you got to climb up a ladder, you got to dodge people, you got to not fall off the ladder. I mean, that takes some real skill. And Warrior is pulling Rick's pants down to the point where he could probably see everything from his point of view. He could probably just get a big eyeful of what Rick's got down there, and that is something that not a lot of people get to experience in this life, and nobody ever will again, because Rick is no longer with us to expose anyone to that region of his body anymore. Warrior's pumping his arms in the air, doing the Hulk Hogan. Even though Hogan's not in this one, it's over already. Rude, he doesn't really have a gusher, you know, it's more just like I think it's starting to clot. But he is shiny. Oh boy. He is glistening like a roasting hot dog. Warrior's warrioring up. He's warrioring up. He's shaking those ropes like Batista. Or Batista shakes the ropes like him. And he's starting for the finish, I think. He's doing the clotheslines. He's running back and forth. He's hit him with like 3 clotheslines now. He's doing the gorilla press symbol. He is so sweaty. His hair's not completely soaked, like shower soaked, but it's like getting there. And I'm sorry about those dogs, by the way, but we're rolling, so I can't stop them. See, they got it. Lucy's taking care of it. Warrior's going back up. I think he's, instead of pinning Rude, he's just going to escape. Is there no pinfalls in this match? Is it escape only? I don't know. Warrior's escaping, that's for sure. All he's got to do is just... Oh, look, he's doing a little gyration there, I think. And he hops down and his feet are on the floor and he's a champ. He's still the champion because his feet can hit a floor and he can climb down some really big bars, big blue bars. And that was quick. Man, I feel like that match didn't even get started. Was that even a match? Oh, well, I'm not complaining. The shorter the better, I say. I don't like super long matches, unless they're really good. And that takes, Warrior's swinging the belt over his head like Seth Rollins style, except he's doing it with one hand. On the top of a cage. That takes talent. That takes talent. I don't know if he practiced that beforehand, but he can't do it. And he's doing the gyration again? Like, Warrior's really into this. He's the champion, folks. But yeah, if him swinging that belt on the top of the cage like that, what if it slipped out? He's so sweaty. What if it slipped out and hit a fan? Then you end up with one of those guys that gets front row tickets to every show. Because I think that's what happens. That guy with the green shirt and the smiley face, the Kool-Aid man, I call him. I have a theory. I know there's other theories floating. I think he's a fan that got hit by like Brock Lesnar when he threw a door in the audience. And we got a copyright and it's over. That's it. Well, now I see AJ Lee skipping to the ring. I don't know what you see, but she's got a lot of little kids behind her dressed like her. All right, well, that was fun. I guess I'll see you next week at SummerSlam 91, which is not going to be the match made in heaven. I'm going to do the match made in hell, because I'm not reviewing a wedding. That's just silly. I'm here for the muscles, you know. I'm here for the muscles, all right? So the match made in hell, I think, is Hogan and Warrior versus Sergeant Slaughter and Mustafa and ING. I don't remember. Warrior runs away with a chair, never to be seen again. And then when he comes back, he's deflated, and everybody thought it was a different Ultimate Warrior. So stay tuned for next week's match. Watch along. Thanks for joining me, all right, folks? See you on the flip side. Oh, wait, there was one of them. No. I'm done. Get a beverage out of that SummerSlam cooler.